great.
It sounds great. Well, Doro, after all these albums you recorded after all these years, and where do you go to find inspiration when it comes to songwriting for a new album?
Oh, actually, everything is inspiring. Every concert, every talk with the fans. Sometimes I get inspired just by the excitement in their eyes, or I feel like somebody has very very soulful or a good heart. Everything inspires me, and then I yeah, usually I write for my heart, and people, the songs, they're just coming out. I don't have to sit down and say, okay, I write a song now. They just, yeah, all the ideas, they're coming out. And for this album, the very first song which was for this album was like to give thanks and honor and respect for Ronnie James Dio. That's actually Hero. That was the first song which I wrote for this record, and actually that was because of total heartbreak and missing Ronnie James Dio so much, and I know millions of fans, they feel the same. And then I had the great chance to tour with the Dio Disciples in Spain, and when I met Simon Wright, the drummer, and Greg Goldie again, it brought back so many great memories, because I toured with Ronnie in 2000 in the States, and Greg Goldie and Simon Wright and the keyboarder, they were there, and we became all great friends, and it was awesome to do something together, even though it was very sad and very emotional, but on the other hand, it was awesome to even to have the joy of listening to the songs. I listened to the Ronnie James Dio songs every day, maybe 100 times, to learn the lyrics, to learn the arrangement, and then I was always a big fan. I always knew these songs, but when you listen to the songs so close, like more than 100 times, then you find out there are so many more details and nuances which I didn't hear before and I didn't feel before, and then it was great, like diving it in really deep. So Hero was the first song to dedicate to Ronnie James Dio, and to give thanks and respect and honor. And then actually all the other songs that came out, it was like kind of some out of heartbreaking stories, out of inspiration. Some songs, for example, some serious songs. There's one song, it's in German and in English. On the limited edition, it's called Freiheit, Human Rights, and on the limited edition, it's called Sealed in Blood, Human Rights. It's actually a song about and for human rights. And from touring so much all over the world, I must say, in some countries, the people, they can't speak what's on their mind. They are not as free as we are here. I could always say and sing what I wanted. In some countries, it's not the case, and I think especially for women in some countries, it is very, very, very difficult. So I want to dedicate the song Feel the Blood, Human Rights, Freiheit, Human Rights to an organization. It's called Terre de Femme, and Terre des Hommes is the human rights organization, the roof, and there's a little organization within that, it's Terre de Femme, and they take care especially of like rights of young girls and young women, which in some countries it's terrible what's happening. So the record, there's a combination between good rock songs, old school metal songs like The Bench or Take No Prisoner or Little Headbanger, and some anthems and some serious songs like the Human Rights song. And I think it's important to say something too. And it's there was actually, I wanted to write that song 3 years ago. I got in touch with that organization, Terre de Femme.
Yes.
And then I said, I want to write a song for you guys. And then 3 years later, now it's thank God it came out. And but every song is written. I get always inspiration every day, and usually from people, usually from the fans, and I always want to give them something powerful and good energy. So when I meet fans, sometimes it inspires me in a way when I hear that somebody says, man, I'm going through a really hard time, and then I think, oh shit, man, I want to write a song which lifts up the spirit of that person, or gives them positive energy to live through a hard time. So So all kinds of things inspire me. Yeah.
Great. Well, Doro, do you think that now in 2012, it's the case that you are a well-known and recognizable figure in metal scene, that you already have your sound and you don't have to try to do a different thing from what you're doing now? Or do you think that you're a figure that try to evolve her sound every time, in every album?
Yeah, every album, I must say, is a little bit different. Of course, it's a sign of the time. I think it's always a mirror of the time, you know, like song-wise, lyric-wise, sometimes sound-wise. But on this album, I thought I want to do what I can do best, like great anthems and beautiful ballads and fast speed metal songs for, you know, for all the headbanging metalheads, and and then having, you know, great sound, which is like, you know, real, honest, but heavy. On the heavy songs, I chose somebody who was mixing it, Jacob Hansen, and he's actually the mixer and producer for Volbeat, and he's in Denmark, and I went to Denmark to mix many of these songs. And then the other songs were mixed by Andreas Brun in Hamburg, and I recorded all over the world. In LA, we recorded Lemmy's vocals, and in New Jersey, in New York, we recorded some songs. We started Hero in New York, New Jersey, but it was mixed very beautifully. And yeah, I think every song deserves the right sound, the right feel, the right people. People love the song, people who love the subject. And interesting enough, like we started Hero, the Ronnie James Dio song, and mixed it in Germany by somebody who did the song for the tribute album to Ronnie James Dio. I did one time the song Egypt for a tribute album of Ronnie James Dio, and I remember Ronnie always said he loved the sound, he loved the feeling. Yeah, and then I went back to the person, and his name is Rudi Kronenberger, and he recorded my very first demos ever in 81 or 82. Went back to have the song Hero, especially mixed by Rudi Kronenberger. So every song sometimes leads the way too. If you're sensitive, then you feel what the song needs, which people, you know, you should get involved. And of course I want to have people, especially for the Hero song, people who feel the same, who know about Ronnie James Dio, you know, that was very important to me. And so every song is like, has a different story and gets the treatment it deserves. And I think, every album is a little bit different here and there. I always try to learn from previous albums. I think the Fear No Evil album, I love that so much, but I think the heavy songs, they could have sounded a little bit heavier and a little bit fatter. So I thought, on this new album, I definitely want to make that especially the heavy songs sound really heavy, and that they have like a fat sound, because it's important that the anthems, the ballads, and the heavy songs sound all like real powerful, and But I think I found my sound, but it can vary on every song. Actually, every song has a different different feel, requires different elements, different sounds.
Okay.
I think as long as it comes, when it comes from your heart, when it's deep from your heart, I think that's all what matters. Everything around it, that will, it will be the way, this song would want to sound, but it always has to be, from the heart, heartfelt. I think that's the only thing which is always the same. I would not do a thing where I feel like, I don't feel it, or it feels half-ass. I always, when I love something 100%, then I know, okay, and then I can take it from there, and
Oh, that's great. So as you said before, you have Goose G from Ozzy and Lemmy from Motorhead doing special appearances in this album. Was this fundamental for you to have big names as guest musicians for this album?
With Lemmy, I'm so many years. We are friends, and we toured together and played at many festivals, and when I had the song It Still Hurts, actually I felt like, wow, maybe it would be something what Lemmy could sing beautifully. And then I sent him the demo, and I said, hey, let me check it out. And then he said, oh, I love it. And then we recorded the vocals in LA, and I was so happy, and it's always a great honor to have Lemmy singing on the record and being part of it. That's awesome. And with Dusty, my friend Alex Cole, he worked on the song Last Man Standing, and he was working on it, and then he went to the music fair in Frankfurt, and he called me up from there. He said, you know what, I'm standing next to Gus G. And I said, oh, no way, and I love Gus, and I love Firewood, and of course, Ozzy Osbourne always had the greatest guitar player. And then Alex said, hey, how about I ask him if he maybe wants to play solo on the song? I said, oh, yes, that would be great. So Alex actually, he made it, and then he gave Gus G the song, and Gus said, oh, yes, I love it. And then he played a great solo on it, and yeah, so it's great to have great people on the record. It's always, yeah, a big honor, and I think it makes all the songs like to a top highlight. I think it's wonderful. And usually you become big time friends as well. That's great. When you do something together, or you tour together, or you work in the studio, then usually, there's a friendship coming out, and this usually always lasts a lifetime too. And with Lemmy, I went to the studio in 2000 for the first time on my Calling the Wild album, and it was great. And Lemmy is a great guy, and we had so much fun. So I thought, maybe again, and now it's 12 years later, and it worked out, and it came out great, and Lemmy was happy, and I was super happy. So that's very special.